It is important to read the encyclicals of the popes, the forgotten encyclicals. And during this sermon I want to present briefly to you an encyclical wrote by Pius XI, Mortalium Animos, about Christian unity. Pope Pius XI wrote this encyclical in 1928. So, in in Europe at this time, it was 10 years after the end of the First World War, there were a movement of peace, to try to establish peace, that such a drama does not happen again. 10 years later, they did it again. Voilà. But there were this mindset among the different nations to find a way to live in peace, in complete peace, to establish peace on earth. And of course, this mindset in the secular society had an impact on the religious side, especially the Protestant churches. They were influenced by that atmosphere, that spirit, and they became more aware that to have many churches, somehow it's not normal. It should be only one church. So the Protestants started to develop a movement to build Christian unity. And some Catholics felt, yes, we have to unite, you know. And so Pius XI had to write an encyclical to explain, to remind them what is Christian unity, the true Christian unity. It's very interesting. First of all, Pius XI explained what is the purpose of those inter-churches meetings. So he says, they want, through a common agreement on certain points of doctrine, to find a common basis, a common practical basis for spiritual life. So this is the purpose of those meetings, inter-churches meeting. And Pius XI says they think like that, they have this purpose because they think that all the churches, all the religions are more or less good. Some are very good, others are not that good, but a little bit good at least. And they think that every religion is more or less good because they understand religion in a very specific way. For the Protestant, religion is the fruit of the innate sense of man for God. Man has in himself a feeling for God, a sense, you know, the African man under his tree, he looks at the sky, it is beautiful at night, and he feels, the great master is there, and he's a religious man. And his religion, animism, because it comes from that feeling, for God, this innate sense of God, it cannot be completely bad. Somehow it is good. Voilà. And the Protestant and some Catholics, the modernists, they say this innate sense of God comes with nature. Like we have an innate sense for beauty, for justice. This innate sense of God, it comes from nature. Therefore, it comes from God, because God is the author of nature. And whatever God does cannot fail. So man, from this inner sense of God, reach God. he managed to reach God and to submit to the law of God. So you see, with that understanding, of course, all the religions somehow are good. Man, through his inner sense of God, his feelings for God, reach God personally, understands his law, and submit to his law. It is enough for a man to have this inner sense of God to reach God, therefore to be saved. Now, what is the judgment of Pope Pius XI about this mindset, this purpose? Okay, to find a common basis, to find a doctrinal agreement in order to have a spiritual life together. Okay, this purpose and those principles behind. What is the judgment of Pope Pius XI? He says, those who hold such opinions, they distort the true idea of religion. So, just on a natural level, they don't understand what is religion. And therefore, they reject religion altogether. And bit by bit, they will fall into atheism. And then he says, those who favor this opinion have abandoned altogether the religion revealed by God. So it is very strong, you see. Those who favor this opinion have abandoned altogether the religion revealed by God. Today we see, so now 50 years, we see the popes, they do not favor this opinion. They organize such meetings. Pope Pius XI says they have abandoned altogether the religion revealed by God. Those people are non-Catholics. You see, a Muslim has a better understanding of religion than a modernist. I don't say that Muslims are true, but that gives you an idea how wrong is modernism. It is even more false than Islam, because at least Islam says God, when God speaks, you just keep quiet and you listen. And this is true. Now the problem is that God does not exist. The Quran is not from the word of God, of course. But the mindset is normal. God speaks, reveals, you listen and you believe. This is faith. Yes. The modernists, they say, no. You listen to yourself and you become aware of this innate sense of God, and that leads you to God. Then Pope Pius XI explains why the Catholics, why this idea of Christian unity is so attractive for the Protestant and the Catholics. He gives 3 reasons. First of all, the apparent excellence of the purpose, unity. Of course, unity is good. So if the purpose of those meetings is unity, therefore it is good, you know. Is it good to fight each other? No. Is it good to be united? Yes. So let us unite each other, you see. So the apparent excellence of the purpose, unity. And you can see that this motto is repeated again and again and again. The second reason why it is attractive, it is because of the words of Jesus Christ. You know, chapter 17, verse 21, at the end of the Last Supper, Jesus said to his disciples, he prayed to his Father that his disciples might be one. So it is this wish, this prayer of Jesus, that we become one. And this that verse of St. John is always quoted when there is an inter-religious meeting. Always. In Kenya, we had a meeting last Lent. Lent 2014. So this year. And Lent was in order that to foster Christian unity. And they had, I read the papers coming from the Archbishop of Diocese of Nairobi, the Archdiocese of Nairobi, and voilà, the title was that they might be one. And as well, this commandment of Jesus Christ. What is the greater commandment? Love of God and love of the neighbor. Therefore, love is above all. Let us put aside the differences, those quarrels about points of doctrines that in any case we don't understand really much, but let us love each other to obey the commandments of Jesus Christ. So it is another way to present, another way which is very attractive for the Protestants, the Catholics, to do those inter-religious meetings. And above all, they say, all the Christians who believe in God must unite against atheism. Atheism is the evil. Let us unite all those who believe that Jesus Christ is God, or that God exists, against atheism. Now, what is the answer of Pope Pius XI? First of all, he calls the bishops to fight that error. Even though it seems very attractive, very seductive, he says, you, my brethren in episcopate, you must hammer those who promote those meetings. Fight against. Then, second point is this. Did God speak? And if God has spoken to man, can we sit together to discuss what to believe, what not to believe? No. Faith, it is to accept the revelation from God. To accept the authority of God speaking, teaching. The simple fact to sit together to discuss if we can believe this or that, it is already to have lost altogether the faith. Because it is to call into question the authority of God teaching. Does he have the authority to teach us? Yes or no? If not, of course we can sit and discuss what to believe. But if yes, what are we doing? We just have to accept what he has taught us. Period. End of the discussion. So you see, under the apparent excellence of the purpose, unity, there is a sort of blasphemy. Man saying to God, keep quiet for a while, we are discussing what we can believe, because we don't agree that you are always right. Voilà. This unity is based on that. Then you see the Pius XI speaks about this verse, that they might be one. It is very interesting that this verse of Saint John is quoted halfway. The second half is never quoted. That they might be one, as we are one. This is the end of the verse. In God, the unity is in God, unity between the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit is a unity of love, of course, and of truth. They agree about the same teaching, the same truth. Read the Gospel. Can you find one instance in which Jesus said, well, my Father thinks like that, but I think rather like this, and we don't agree together, but you can choose. No. whatever I have witnessed, I tell you. That is the word of Jesus. My doctrine is not from. My doctrine is not mine. So, meaning, I am just telling you what the Father wants. Unity of mind. Unity between the Father and the Son about the truth. So you see, the pattern of the unity that we must try to imitate in the church among men, it is a unity based on truth and love. Love and truth. The two going together. This is why this second half of the verse is never quoted by the modernist. That they might be one as we are one. One in truth, one in love. And finally, Pius XI speaks about unity against atheism. And he says, if you unite all the Christians against atheism on the basis of love only, putting aside the faith, the result will be the promotion of atheism. So that it is in 28. People could say, this is bizarre. We all believe in God, we unite against atheism. Why should our union for God, to proclaim the existence of God, promote atheism? First of all, let us look at the consequences. 80 years later, 28, 2008, 80 years after, 80 years during which the Catholics didn't listen to this warning of Pope Pius XI. Do you think that in Western countries atheism went down? In all the Western countries, atheism has shooted up. New Zealand, Australia, France, UK, USA, there is many more atheist people today than 80 years ago, obviously. So the consequences are there. So what Pius XI foresaw has happened. Unity of the Christians without regard to the faith promotes atheism. And it is altogether logical. Because when you sit to discuss God's revelation, what do? You put yourself at the level of God. Therefore, either God becomes a man, or man becomes God. The principle behind this discussion about God's revelation, can we believe this? Can we believe that? The principle at the foundation, it is that man is equal to God. That there is no difference between God and man. What do say the atheist? Well, maybe there is a God, but we don't care. We are equal to God. And therefore we don't need God. If he does not exist, it does not matter. Those Christians who want to unite without regard to the faith revealed by God, they share the same principle than the atheist. Man is equal to God. There is no difference. And therefore, their action will promote atheism. Indirectly, but really. So this is why we must refuse. We must understand the danger, the gravity of those inter-religious meetings. It is not because it has happened so many times since 50 years that those inter-religious meetings are not scandalous anymore. Those inter-religious meetings, they destroy the Church of Christ. They destroy destroy our religion. For us, it is a matter of surviving. If we accept those inter-religious meetings, we accept to die. We accept that our religion just falls apart. So we must refuse those inter-religious meetings, and when it's possible, to explain to the modern Catholics around us how evil it is, to warn them, to make them know the danger of those inter-religious meetings. And this is why we are in the resistance. Because the Society St. Pius X does it less and less. I'll give you an example. 18th of November, Tuesday, in Manila. Father Nelly went to the Priory, Our Lady of Victory, the SSPX Priory there. And he met Father Carlos Reyes. Father Carlos Reyes is the representative of the CBCP, the Catholic Bishop Conference of Philippines, for whatever is inter-religious meetings in Philippines. So Father Nelly, Father Onoda, Father Salvador, Father Fortin, they met Father Carlos Tuesday morning. 18, so 10 days ago, more or less. 15 days, yes. 2 weeks ago exactly, yes. And they talked about reconciliation. How to reach a full canonical reconciliation even though we have doctrinal issues. That was on Tuesday. It was a very discreet meeting. Nobody knew about it. But on Friday we heard that this meeting happened because there is we have a young student at the Catholic University of Manila. He's for the resistance, but he knows all the. He goes to mass a bit everywhere, you know, to Opus Dei, to the Society, St. Pius X, to hear about what is going on, and he gives us information. He's very good. He knows everything about. And on Friday he came to us and said, "Hey, you know what, Father? You know what? Father Nelly was in Manila last Tuesday. He met Father Carlos Reyes. They spoke about this, about that, about reconciliation." So we believed him, and fine. So that was Tuesday. Friday he came. On Tuesday, Father Chazal just bumped into Father Salvador at the airport. So they start to speak, and Father Chazal said, by the way, Father, you received Father Carlos Reyes, and Father Nelly was there, and you spoke about reconciliation and canonical agreement. It was no, you of the resistance, you are evil-minded. As soon as there is something, we meet a modernist priest. It is because of betray, because we did not speak about canonical agreement. We just had a breakfast together. That's all. This is nothing else. And that's all. So Father Shah said, just a breakfast. Oh, okay. Right? So Father Nelly came for a breakfast. Nice. Well, and so they separated. And the day after, on Wednesday morning, I went to the CBCP official website, and the headline was, CBCP initiates cordial ties with SSPX in Philippines. And they gave the breakdown of the points they discussed on Tuesday, 18th of November. And among those points they were, which steps to follow in order to reach a full canonical reconciliation, even though we have still doctrinal oppositions. So they talked about it. And Father Salvador said, denied, no, just a breakfast. So you see, it is a case which happened just 2 weeks ago. Father Nelly the number 3 in the Society St. Pius X. A society which has been founded in order to oppose modernism, to oppose inter-religious meetings, to fight in order to save the church somehow. That doesn't mean that we have the mission, we have the savior of the church, but to fight whatever destroys the church. Father Nelly, who is member number 3 in that society, he meets Father Carlos Reyes, who is the person in charge in Philippines, nationwide, he's in charge to organize those meetings. Father Nelly does not say a word against, but they speak about to be friends. Let us be friends. How can we be friends with somebody who destroys the church? Maybe he does not know, maybe, first of all, I doubt Father Carlos Reyes does not know what he is doing, given his position, but even if he does not know, he does. He does destroy the church. So, maybe he is not aware, he is unconscious, but he does evil. Therefore, we have to fight the evil he does. Period. That's all. SSPX in Philippines keeps quiet. Tries to be friend with the people who promotes atheism. So, voilà, you have an example of what we do in the resistance. We try to maintain that line. We must fight, especially the priest. The priest must fight whatever is a danger to the church. And the society, at least the head in Menzingen, it is over. Father Nelly, Father Frigger, Bishop Foley do not want to do that anymore. On the paper, they want to fight against inter-religious meeting, but if now, on the ground, they have to fight that priest, this bishop, this pope, it will not be done. So it is why you must be careful. You must be careful, you must form yourself, you must read, you must know what is going on, and you must be watchful. You cannot trust the priest of the society as before. You cannot. So you see, you will be careful, you will remember to pray for the church, for the hierarchy of the church, for the Society St. Pius X, for the priests in Wanganui, for the priests of the resistance, that all those clerics may see the truth and stick to it and fight for it. And as well, you will pray during this Mass to receive the grace of a clear-sighted faith and the grace to persevere in this faith. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen.